word. Once I have my way, girl, you can swerve. I tell you, stop. We bring them heaters. Little bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. 30 AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah, real trap nigga skrill. On God, no deal, I'm worth a mill. Big house and it's sitting on the hill. I pay them boxes just like Shaquille, yes sir. Just drop the whole load off. I ain't never had shit, so I show up. Double dollar bitch, yup, that's my road dog. If I ain't got my gun, you getting stolen, yeah. I ain't in the wasted time, what you tryna do? She went to stripping on her clothes with her designer shoes. Grabbed her by her neck and let her see my family juice. Now she tryna take a family cruise. I tell her stop, we bring them heaters. Little bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. 30 AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah.
Still searching, meaning in this life, why this world turning. Yeah, if I'm alright, I don't care about a like. I know the bigger picture got a bigger purpose. Yeah, you know I'm stacking this money, but somehow still lost in my 20s. Funny we lost hope when COVID taught us to cope. Who would've thought that the world was alone hurting? Yeah, looking at my little brother. Depression is the quickest way to cause murder. Yeah, in grade school other people murmur, but he's still alive. I call him the overcomer. Some days I think, do God see us? Life is a balance. Young talented Libra who seeks peace but keeps tough, who needs G's and Jesus, who turns east and prays up. With one girl he lays up, the family on his mind. He can't run, nah, he can't run. Putting things down into action, making a plan. No more telling other people I ain't showing my hands. Got a goal on my mind, I ain't kicking the can. Homeboys call like when we kicking again. Old friends, new friends, I got life changes, new man. I'm not one to hate on you, and we are trying to make it to a conclusion. Let it out, yeah, let it out, let it out, yeah, let it out. Oh, I said let it out. Yeah, I'm just trying to be free. Turn me up, yeah. I've been sleeping every night with a different plan in my mind. Am I getting any close to that man you designed? I ain't looking for a handout, praying for a sign, but I figure faith could make the stars you align. Them other girls I would play time, yeah, but with you I can make time. The passion you got like grapevines, I know we'll both grow in age like great wine, yeah. Cause life is a poetry book. All these wrong turns, you don't wanna go look. And this pain that I felt before is no more. Everything getting better when you know you enough, yeah. Can't stress a thing I don't know. And I pray for friends I've outgrown. Most things nowadays are bluff, but I'm trying to know that God who was burning a bush. Let it run, G. Bring the bongos in. Yeah. So soulful. Yeah. I write this last chapter for you and us. 7 years, bro, man, what a rush. Crazy how, even when we out of place, high school pace taught us to be tough. Everything ends in the end, do it. The friendship blend, but it's still moving. Yeah, somewhere in the earth playing old music that we never dropped and forgot we was cold doing. I can't tell you a lie. See your family, you know I feel happy inside. All these memories collect, be the happiest times. I hope that we cross paths even after this life. Yeah, one thing in life I do know, everything is meant for your growth. I just wanna see us all getting close to the days we can shout to success with a toast. Yeah, sitting on top of the world.
Schaefer, that's a hit.
For real.
I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show it. If you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And they know.
Schaefer, that's a hit.
For real.
I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show it. If you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day. It's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day. It's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worse, like a gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on the TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut these hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari read it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show it. If you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show it. If you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. I'm so raw in, uncut. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes.
All right, y'all. It's 7:02. So y'all, it is time for Real Raw. Let's talk. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, y'all. So today is Thursday, which means that you made it past hump day and you almost on Friday, if the good Lord say the same, right? So let's give it up for yourself because you made it to what? Almost Friday, which is another day where you closer to the weekend, which means you closer to you don't give a damn. Let's just keep it real. Friday coming, y'all act like y'all don't give a damn about nothing no more. Work, clocking in, none of that. Don't act like you don't know. So it is Thursday, y'all, and I got some great guests in the house, but we gonna introduce them in just a few. So let's go ahead and get into our church announcements, y'all. All right. So first of all, before we even start church announcements, I just want to tell y'all a little bit for about Real Raw Let's Talk. For some of y'all who are new tuning in, Real Raw Let's Talk is a show where we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about resources, and we talk about them conversations that we really need to get more in depth to. Like, not just have the conversation, but let's put action in those conversations, right? And it can range from finances to talking about, why men ain't supposed to cry, generational things. We talk about it all, okay? So I'm so excited about the people that I have on today. The guests are phenomenal, and we definitely gonna dive in. So before we do, let's go and get into our announcements for today, church. All right, so let's talk about let's see, Tubi Tuesday. If y'all haven't caught, your girl does a Tubi Tuesday movie review every Tuesday. Now this week movie was Thick of the Berry, Sweet of the Juice. Kendra Rainey King is the director, y'all. This movie was real good. I'm gonna tell you now, I ain't cried since I watched Selena and since I watched Titanic. And I just want to say, you gonna need your tissues for this one. I was boo-hooing and sad. And these actors did a great job. So y'all definitely go watch that out on Tubi, and always catch Tubi Tuesday with your girl. Tubi Tuesday. All right. So also let's talk about Spence Hockey Gear. So what we got at www.spencehockeygear.com, okay? There's everything arranged from gym clothes for my gym heads, bonnets, socks. We got kids sets, matching adult and kids sets. So y'all definitely go over to spencehockeygear.com, and this website is actually going to be below. It's going to be in the comments as well. And if you want a discount, I'm going to let you use a little discount code. All right. So it's Real Raw Let's Talk with the number two at the end. Okay. And that's what you can use that discount. Make sure you go on there. Order your kids. It's summertime. Get your summer fits. Okay. All right. Also, a nonprofit organization I want to give a shout out to is Inspire Her Foundation. Inspire Her Foundation. I love what they stand for. I love what they do. They're all about transforming and empowering women with all kinds of resources and knowledge, ranging from mental health awareness, domestic violence support, um, let's see, financial literacy, career growth. They do a lot for women. So if you would like to donate your time or your money, go over to inspireher.foundation.org. That's inspireherfoundation.org. Please go onto there, like, share, comment with them. I think it's great what they're doing with women. I highly, highly recommend you go over there and network with those ladies. Um, so that's what our church announcements for today. I want to thank y'all for tuning in this Thursday. Y'all can catch your girl every Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Where we hosting these conversations because we need to have them. Also, if you would like to donate or sponsorship, you can always donate. There's a cash app below, but you also can DM me if you got an event. You want your girl to host. You want to get the real raw experience. Rather it's red carpet, rather it's a speaking engagement, rather it's a collab. Just inbox me and we can work it out. Let's talk about it, okay? Now, we're gonna dive into a quick commercial break because I definitely want to talk about our topic for today. We're gonna be diving into wealth and generational legacy and wealth. I think this is a very deep conversation that we need to have with the times like we have right now. And I got some three wonderful people that and some great resources with them to help us talk about business, um, legacy, generational wealth. We're gonna talk about that. So y'all definitely come back with us, and we're gonna take a little commercial break, and we're gonna join right back with you guys. Okay, y'all, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna do a quick commercial break, but we're gonna see if we can get that commercial going so we can get our sponsors paid for the day. So, Jason, let's take us out with a quick commercial. We'll come back and introduce our guest of the day.
No inheritance, I got it off the land. This is that gas. I'm a different type of strand. This that type of smoke make you tap into your pedia glands. This that type of smoke that can get rid of many mans. This that type of smoke that you can't handle. I put belt the ass, light a nigga ass up like a candle. Secret animosity, they shoot shots but they can't aim. Young niggas dying every day behind fame. Fuck nigga took my brother out the game. I swung on these niggas neck like $100,000 chain. Fuck nigga. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull a trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Hoe run up on me, I may call me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he was a young nigga. Did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it till it's empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going, you hoes ain't stopping up, you understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla, yeah, you understand? Lady life been feeling kinda creepy. Big bro got so much street credit, get you gone for the freebie. Dirty feet, friendly pussy, slut bucket, bitch, we call it red flag. Big bro, you should've known better the way you rock that red flag. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen them people put you out in that body bag. Damn, my nigga, I'm talking about a body bag. Fuck me up, I viewed your body. That shit made me gag. You was covered from your. Understand I'ma be right there for you.
The story goes as we unfold. Life reveals our purest soul. What we don't know is
right, y'all. We had to get something to drink and get us started. All right, y'all. So thank y'all for tuning back in to Real Raw Let's Talk. I'm your host, your girl, your neighbor, your niece. I don't know what age they start saying auntie, but I think I'm in that category too. So I'm your niece and your auntie, okay? T Pretty Smile. All right, so like I said, today I want to talk about wealth, generational legacy, generational wealth, business, starting a business. We need to talk about all of it. And tonight, I want to go ahead and introduce my guests who I have on. They all have been do phenomenal work in what they do, and I definitely want to share their resources, share their knowledge with you guys, and let's do that. So first, I want to introduce Miss Mariah Davis. Okay, if you've been following Real Raw Let's Talk since the birth of Real Raw Let's Talk, then Mariah has definitely been on the show before um, with her man, Elijah Wine Raven. And when I tell you it was a great episode, so go back and check that out. That episode was not generational curses. It was why men is supposed to cry, right, Mariah?
Yeah, it was something about crying, a man crying. Yeah.
She says about men crying, men crying. Y'all definitely gotta go check that out. It's one of our very first episodes. Like, Mariah, it's so good to see you. Like,
Yes.
it's such a full circle to. I remember when you came on that episode. Like, I think girls, but 3 years ago, and you
It
was
was.
like on that show.
I think my son was.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
girls
been a
a
while.
minute ago. And I
Yep.
remember when you came on, you was giving out info and you was like, I'm gonna have me a business where I teach people how to like get their income on their hobbies. Like I'm gonna teach people how
Yes.
to work out their hobby. And to see you speak that and make it happen, like I'm just like, look at this girl. She's bad. It's like she getting it. You
Well,
meant that.
yeah. Thank you. Well, I'm definitely, building a brand, and a lot of people have, I feel like, the wrong perception of me. I'm really just a struggling girl who really turned my hustling into a really, streams of income. And I really just wanted to show other people, how to do the same. And I know a lot of people know me from like getting started in like the credit repair industry, getting started in the financial. And then a lot of people know me from doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Like they'll see me on their
Real
time.
estate.
What the hell is Mariah doing now? Like, what is she? This is like the fifth, sixth business this girl that launched. And I'm like, Lord, okay, I know how to do so much stuff. Like I'm overwhelming myself. So I was like, okay, you gave me this gift to give to other people. Show other people how to do it. So it's not for me to start a million different businesses. It's for me to show other people how to do it. And so that's what my passion ended up being outside of real estate, outside of being a mom, outside of building a relationship and things like that. My passion really landed, helping other people, showing
And
them how to.
you do that, like, and I like that you title it "How to Bay." Like, talk about it. Talk about how to bay.
Well, BAE actually stands for business and entrepreneurship.
Uh
Um,
huh.
Also a vulnerable, BAE thing that symbolizes myself. Like I said, I'm a black sheep in the family. I'm always that person that don't nobody really fool with, but they always call me, wanting me to show them how to do something. Mariah, can you show me how to do this? Can you, girl, come show me how to click this on the computer? Like, how you do this? Can you show me how to do this? Like, I always need me to do something, but I'm the, how the black sheep is. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody
Yep.
really. So it really was built like off of like my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know. I was homeless. I went through a lot of things. So this brand really was built like off the things that I had to do to survive. So I had to learn different skill sets. I had to learn how to juggle multiple things. In order to stay afloat. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
a lot of meaning behind it. But BAE does stand for business and entrepreneurship.
I like that, and I like it's catchy. Like it make you tune in, and the fact that you giving gems to people, I really love that. So I know you're gonna give us some knowledge and some info tonight. I look forward to it. I also want to bring in is Miss Hicks there? Can you see us or hear us, Miss Hicks? No, I don't think she can. We're gonna get her to come back in. But until she's ready to come back in, let's go ahead and get over to Mr. Trevon. How are we doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on the platform to share this evening. Sorry. Thank
Oh
you. I
no, I
appreciate
am. I'm
that.
so excited to have you. a little backstory. I happened to meet Mr. Trevon at my first speaking engagement ever, and he rocked it out. And just so happened, I had the opportunity where I won one of his books. Mr. Trevon is a speaker, an author, a coach, and an entrepreneur. And I had the opportunity to win one of his books, The ABCs of Empowerment. And when I tell you, as you can see, my book is bent because I've been using it. I've been using it. I love the fact that in his book it has different things that you can use. I mean, so it has a daily. Some people have daily affirmations, right? And I'm not good on affirmations. I get a lot be like, okay, yeah. But when you give me like Psalms, like the book of Psalms, like some scripture or like something powerful, I don't want to say affirmation is not powerful, but every to each their own. I need something to be like, girl, get it together and walk up out of here. Like I don't need no, okay, you're beautiful, you're wise, you good. Okay, I need something that's gonna stick to me like glue and be on my hand, be on my mind the rest of the day. And I like that. And I like that in here you give like each day you can read something that pertains to that day. And I just really like your empowerment book. It really do empower me. It's very inspirational. Some I can read on a daily. It even gives some of your quotes that you like, that you follow as well. So, and we're
Right.
gonna get into where they can buy this book as well. And I appreciate you so much for that book.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting you said that because the book is not affirmation. So what happened was I had a work related accident and I lost like three fingers. I was in physical therapy for
Oh,
over 2.5 years. I had to learn how to reuse my hands and stuff again. And I don't do painkillers. So in order to get through each day, I started writing down like a quote or something to basically have a conversation with myself to just help me deal with the frustration because I couldn't work. The first 6 months, I couldn't even use my hands, so my wife had to bathe me, clean me, everything. And I'm talking
mm,
about as a grown man. So I needed something to get me through. And then I wrote all of them each day I was writing. And then I was at a networking event. Hint, hint. I was at a networking event, and this lady was like, "So, hey, what did you do to get you through all that tough time?" So when I told her, she's
mm-hmm.
like, "You know what? Why don't you consider putting those quotes in a book? Because you never know who out there might need, some empowerment, some encouragement, and so on." And that's basically the genesis of how that book came to be. So I'm glad that you're finding value in it as well.
Very much so. Even up until I mean, literally yesterday, you had posted something. I've been dealing with something like I said all week long, and to see what you wrote, it really helped me in a very dark time of the day. I had just got some bad news, and I happened to scroll on Facebook, and as soon as I opened, it was the first thing I saw, and I was like, dang, I needed that. Like it was like somebody gave me a big hug. And I feel like in entrepreneurship, and Mariah, maybe you can agree too, like in entrepreneurship, a lot of times people don't feel like you ever see hardship. Like it's just an easy road, right?
Yeah.
Oh, just because they making money, things are good, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it's not like that at all. We're still human.
Right.
Things still happen. And
Yes.
even when I met Trevon, to hear you speak at the event you were speaking on, like you had was it seizures, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
seizures.
And to hear you was talking about how you had seizures back to back to back to back, and to hear you prevail and to hear you be like, I'm gonna still go on. It made me look like whatever I was going through was nothing. Like it was like, girl, dust your eyes off and keep it pushing. You hear what this man just said he been through?
Right.
40 seizures and one. I'm like, hold up, you right. Let me buckle up.
Right. Oh, my
you
story was sad.
know?
When you said that, I was like, dang, let me be
Yes, girl, you gotta hear his story. It's such a piece. It's such phenomenal and it's such inspiring, girl. You be like, girl, let me go and get up. I ain't got nothing to complain about. And again, that's why I wanted to bring both of you on the show to express those things and how you build it, how you still become an entrepreneur and still do that walk of entrepreneurship, even though the midst of things you have going on. How do we build generational wealth? Real conversation and be real about it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
Right.
love that. Miss Hicks is going to join us in shortly, but until then, I do want us to go ahead and talk about entrepreneurship. Let's just start there, right? So, how did you guys like start your business?
Go ahead, Miss Davis.
Okay, for me, I've been an entrepreneur since 2018. I was working a job. I was struggling. I was struggling with childcare. I couldn't find the right job. I couldn't find the right hours. It just wouldn't work out. I don't really have like a support system where I got aunties, grannies, and uncles and stuff to watch my kids. It's really always just been me figuring it out, So I was struggling with childcare. So I got into my mental bag in what I say, and I started manifesting my life. And I said I wanted to be a personal assistant, and I became a personal assistant for a man who did credit repair. And then my first venture was actually credit repair and entrepreneurship. I started doing it for free. I started practicing. I started getting results. I started getting reviews from everybody, and then I started charging $50. And then I started getting more results. I started getting more reviews, and then I started just gradually going up with my prices. Start, I'm tech savvy, so I know how to build systems. I know how to build websites. I know how to do all these different things. So I just use all my skills and my mental. And at the time, I was struggling, facing eviction. So these are things that I just had to do. Like I feel like I had to become an entrepreneur. Like, I feel like it was just meant for me right at the right time because, like I said, I was facing so much and nothing was working for me. 9 to 5 was not working. So I was like, okay, I got to do something. And once I made my first $2,000 in one day, just being an entrepreneur doing credit repair, I was like, I'm never going back to a 9 to 5. I'm never going back. I'm not finna go back to work. Like what? And so from
Clocking
that
who?
point, I just started investing my money. Like I've always been a smart girl. Like, I've always had a mind of my own. And I just started investing my money. And my first thing that I got into was actually a clothing line, which was Envy Street Apparel. And it was actually doing good. But again, like I said, I can't stick to one thing. So I got into credit repair. And so that's how I became an entrepreneur. Was it really I didn't have no choice. And really 9 to 5 was not working for me.
Okay, okay. Now you did have. Well, I'm gonna ask at the end when everybody else go, because I know being an entrepreneur sometimes we have to put other things on the back burner, and it hit different when it's like, no. People ask me all the time, "You go out? You go to the club?" Girl, my networking events is my club now. Like I don't go to the club. Like that's what it's about. Going to these networking events, putting yourself in rooms,
Yeah.
to grow. Um, I'm so glad we got Miss Hicks with us. She done came in. Y'all, I want to welcome Miss Hicks. This is Miss Boss Babe Advisory. And I definitely I'm happy to have you on the line so you can also bring the financial aspect and things of the business. When I met you, you were so down to earth, and like I said, it was so much of girl, I'm here to support you. Like the conversation became me taking notes. And I was like, you know what? I need to hear this. I need this. Like, you speak powerful this, and I love that. So I'm definitely happy that you're on the line. For those who don't know, she's a senior business consultant. And like we was talking about red flags of the business. I'm looking at my notes now because we was talking about a whole lot of things, and I was like, we gotta have a show about finances, the wealth in the wealth part of being in our generation. Like, stop those things that we used to not know. Now we know better. Let's do better. So I'm so happy. If you want to introduce yourself a little bit more, go ahead and tell them a little bit about you as well.
All right. Well, my name is Jenai Hicks. I'm the founder and CEO of Boss Babe Advisory Group. I'm all about breaking that generational curse, and leaving a legacy. I feel like, it's one of those things, like you said, what you don't know is what you don't know, right? And I feel like with the millennials and the Gen Zs, we're changing the trajectory of it. We're not, our grandmamas. We're not our mothers. We're like, look, the 9 to 5 just isn't working. You know what I mean? I want to have that freedom. I want to create the lifestyle and manifest my lifestyle. Um, so I work with a lot of visionaries in their starting phase. So ideally, they'll come to me and say, hey, look, this is my goals. This is my passion. This is my desires. And I help them succeed in that area, making sure they have their structure right, make sure they know their next steps. And then I also mentor them within that first year of business. You know what I mean? A lot of businesses fail within that first year. So it's all about, like you said, how can I support you? And I feel like that's where we thrive um, as a consulting firm specializing in small business startup.
Okay, come on with it. She said she here to sell the knowledge. And I'm glad, so happy, to have you on the line with that. So I want to ask that question about generational wealth. What does that entail? I didn't know anything about that type of thing until I began my business, right? So, how about you going into a business and know nothing about that, right? I always taught that, oh, you turn 18, you get a credit card, use it on whatever you want to use it on. They ain't gotta know you got that money. Then you ain't gotta pay it back. I wish my father passed away a couple years ago, both of my fathers. And I wish that I was listening to them then, because it definitely would have made a difference now. And
Correct.
that's what made me want to have this conversation, because I feel like a lot of people be like, even with life insurance, it's like, oh, I'm young, I'm gonna live forever. I don't need life insurance. It's for old people. I was definitely one of those people. I was like, I'm 21. What I need life insurance for? Woo, go to the club, like, and I think that now being a mom, now having being an entrepreneur, having my own business, um having a daughter, like, it's a lot of factors, and now it's like, oh no, we do need life insurance. Especially I've been having family drop like flies, and to see now the younger generation are the ones who don't have life insurance, but they the ones the quickest to leave, and you see nothing but GoFundMe's. So I definitely didn't know much about it. But from y'all's perspective, what is generational wealth? I'll let Mr. Trevon, if he wants to start first. I know you can also assume, because you have grandkids. So talk about that in the aspect too, about generational wealth.
Well, I mean, for me, generational wealth is your ability to leave an inheritance for your children's children's children. And unfortunately for us and in the African American community, we have been so far miseducated away from wealth. But if we were to just look at our history, right, our origins, our ancestors, we come from the richest continent on the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Africa, in terms of natural resources, Africa is the richest continent on the planet. That's the first thing we need to know. That's the legacy we come from. Secondly, our ancestors were wealthy beyond measure, and whether people want to admit it or not, the truth is in the reality. For example, if you ever get a chance to go to Egypt and you see, right, although they've tried to taint the fact that Egyptians are black, you see the fact that our
Mm-hmm.
ancestors had wealth. They made this movie about Shaka Zulu and so on and so on, and they distorted a lot of the story. But the Zulu nation in South Africa, they had a lot of wealth. My middle name, which is Sundiata, comes from Western Africa, in Mali, where my namesake Sundiata is the great great nephew of the wealthiest man that ever lived, even wealthier than Solomon, Mansa
Oh
Musa.
wow.
So and so when you understand that we come from a lineage of wealth, but through the middle passage of slavery, we've been miseducated, and they've stripped us of that knowledge. So we feel like we're supposed to be born into the ghettos, and we're supposed to be born into
Mm-hmm.
struggles. And so now we have to have a reckoning and a reprogramming of the mindset. If and correct me if I'm wrong. Did anybody on this call right now used to sit at the dinner table with their mom and dad and have conversations about money? No, we didn't,
No.
because our parents were miseducated away from that. But if you knew little Johnny Snow White and you go to his house, mom and dad, they sitting there talking about IULs and life insurance. They sitting there talking about real estate investment. They sitting there talking about how he's gonna have the money to afford his first car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
They're not having conversations about payday loans. They're not having conversations about welfare. And I'm not saying that at some point some of us don't need to utilize those things. But what I'm saying is that we've been so miseducated that we become dependent on it, and they are happy that we're okay with being on welfare for the rest of our existence.
Mm-hmm.
They're happy that we're going into these payday loan places. If you pull back the curtain and you were to find out how many people of color actually own these payday loan places, these shark infested places that we get caught in this negative cycle, you realize we don't own those places, but we get trapped into those cycles. And so I think now this conversation about generational wealth, we have to no longer be afraid to talk about money. We have to no longer be afraid to talk about wealth. We have to no longer be afraid to talk to our children about it. We have to be willing to put things in place now. So, like for example, I'm getting ready to launch a children's book series that's
Mm.
written around my granddaughter Zaria. She's the character. So when we use her picture on the cover, she gets paid. Every time one of the books sells, she gets paid. And that money is going to go
Oh
into an
wow.
account, a trust account that she cannot touch until she's 21. And then when she's 21, there's still going to be stipulations. Now, if she wants to go backpacking across Europe or wherever she wants to go, that's cool. But for me, she could fund that on her own. But for me, her only opportunity to access that money is she has to be pursuing something to expand the wealth. So either she's pursuing, if she chooses to go to college to expand her educational base, or she's choosing to start some type of entrepreneurial project of her own,
That's
right? That's
beautiful.
the only way she can get access to that money. And I'm now realizing that I'll have to be intentional for that. My wife started an IUL for her. So again, by the time she's 21, that foundation will be solid. Now, unfortunately for us, we learned this later. But now where we have a family dinner that we do once a month, and we talk about that. Now, do the kids always want to sit around and talk about that? No, they don't.
Nope.
But how many times do you have to give your kids not what they want, but what they need? And that's what
Mm.
these generational wealth conversations have to become.
That is so true. You hear a lot of points in there. Well, feel welcome to jump in, Mariah and Miss Hicks. I'm just commenting on, but I want to keep y'all quiet. Go ahead and join in.
Yeah,
I,
I definitely agree with Trevon. Is that how you say your name? I apologize. Definitely what he said, and especially like with this generation, like it's important that we speak to our kids and we teach them things. So to me, generational wealth is showing your family members and the people close to you what you know. Like don't gatekeep it. Show them how to do things. Show them how to get things done. Teach them about credit. Like it's a lot of people in the black community who have parents that's doing well. They got the degrees. They got the good credit, and they just looking at their kids struggle. Like if you know
Oh
about good
yeah.
credit, then teach your kids, teach your family, teach your cousin, teach your auntie. That's generational.
Mm-hmm.
Spread it throughout. Put it all in the family. If you start a business, put your family on it. Give them an opportunity. But of course, we know that it's a struggle sometimes in the black community. We know how that goes. But to me, that's how it's supposed to be. Like I feel like you are supposed to talk to your kids. Like for me myself, like I talk to my kids all the time. I teach them about credit. I teach my daughter. She's 12. She's very smart. I teach them about different, life lessons and things like that. And I feel like that's very important. To
That's
constantly
very
spread
true.
out to your family and especially your kids.
Yeah, very true. I wish I had took notes when my daddy was alive. Like he used to make us sit down and be like, "Here, get your pad, get a pen. I want you to watch this commercial right here. It's a 10-minute little speech on credit, and I want you to sit down there and write down ten things he tell you." Like he was that type of person, and I used to not take him serious. But now being more of an adult, I'm like, God damn! If I would, if I
Yeah,
would have
just
listened, I
if
wish
I
he
would
was
just listen.
around. I definitely would have did that, and that's again why I want to have this conversation. Going into business, I didn't even know what having an LLC was. I was like, "What is this? I gotta pay what? I gotta renew it? What is this?" I said, "I know other people don't know this shit. We need to talk about this." So,
let's talk about
Miss
it.
Hicks, I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just, it's enough for everybody to get their words out, right? But I would say just piggybacking on both of them. I remember when me and you had the conversation over virtual tea, and I was telling you, when my father passed away, my dad didn't have life insurance. It was no legacy, right? So that's why I'm like so passionate on having that foundation and making sure my kids reap everything, right? And not only for my kids, my grandkids, my great grands. And my kids always, it's a beautiful thing because they watch me on my entrepreneur journey, and they're actually entrepreneurs themselves. Each one of them got their own business. And they're not even 15 yet, right? So it's kind of cool for them to see it, so they'll understand, money management, time management, being on time, spending their money wisely, and it's more to life than working for somebody else, right? So I'm just super passionate on breaking that curse and just saying like, look, I work so hard right now because I don't want y'all to have to work as hard. I mean, y'all got to work. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want y'all to work as hard. And even the gems that I was dropping when we was on a conversation was, talking about credit. Mariah just, spoke a little bit about the credit side of it. I was like, we're breaking that cycle of when you turn 18, you have to go run a property. No. When you turn 18, you're going to go buy something. You're going to go buy a house, even if it's a one bedroom, two bedroom home. You got the credit, right? I'm building their credit as we speak. So when they do turn 18, they can go get whatever car they want, right? When they do turn 18, they can, instead of going to rent a place, they can go buy a condo. So it's just having those conversations. We also have a family meeting. Before I used to do it like once a week, but we have those round table conversations, and they're young, so it's funny to them. But just to see that, my son, he's talking about he want to be a lawyer. He's like, look, I want to be a lawyer. My youngest daughter, she's 7. She already knows she want to be a realtor. She want to wear pretty dresses and go sell houses and make a lot of money. So I feel like just, and then my daughter Kalia, she's like, look, I want to work with you. I want to work at the firm with you as an accountant. So it's like just having those conversations where they're like, look, my mom rich. I was like, I don't know why they keep telling people that they're gonna
Right.
come rob us, right? But I was like, I just know how to spend my money well, right? And I'm teaching you guys the same thing. And I always tell them, don't get caught up on all the luxury things that you see, right? I said, I work really, really hard, and this is how I reward myself. I said, but when you start out, let this be the least of your worries. I've been on this entrepreneur journey for the last 11 years. You know what I mean? So I'm able to be like, okay, if I want something nice, let me go buy it, right? But just keeping the money, I feel like other races, they're birthed into it. Now we
Yep.
have to
Right.
shake the table, right? We have to shake it where we're actually birthing our kids into it. We don't have to take the poverty route. We don't have to be on Section 8 or food stamps and all that other stuff. No, that's not our end, right? That's just a stepping stone if needed.
Yep.
Um but I say that with so many words, just educating our kids. Our parents didn't have the education and the knowledge that we have. And I feel like we really breaking the curse. We're changing generational. We're making the like a big impact. If we just continue on and just keep showing up, in our culture, in our community. And I feel like we're being seen, we're being heard, and we're being educated.
Definitely so. Definitely so. I wanna take a quick commercial break because I want to come back and tag on what you were saying. Because I believe that is very important. To talk about like going from where we're coming from. So y'all, we definitely gonna take a real quick commercial break. We're gonna come back and again, we're gonna talk about what Miss Hicks just said. She has hit a valuable point. So Jason, you go ahead and take us out, y'all. We'll be right back.
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I
had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull a trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Hoe run up on me, I make her me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand, I'ma be right there for you. Understand, I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand, I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it till it's empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going, you hoes ain't stopping up, you understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla, yeah, you understand? Lady life been feeling kinda creepy. Big bro got so much street credit, get you gone for the freebie. Dirty feet, friendly pussy, slut bucket, bitch, we call it red flag. Bro, you should've known better the way you rock that red flag. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen them people put you out in that body bag. Damn, my nigga, I'm talking about a body bag. Fuck me up, I viewed your body. That shit made me gag. You was covered from your head to your ankles. First thing I seen was a motherfucking toe tag. Understand, I'ma be right there for you. Understand, I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand, I'ma be right there.
Papa, you crazy for this one.
I told him stop. We run them heaters. Them bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah, I swear it's really going up. Top model bitches all tryna fuck. Them basic hoes, so you know I'm gon' duck. She ain't extravagant, she ain't getting fucked, no sir. Let's link up in the mansion. Bring some homies, got some friends that brought them bands in. Caught lacking, I ain't tryna chance it. I ain't Nick, but I'm walking with the cannon, yeah. Shorty bad, I'm tryna splurge. Send her ass to the doctor, fix her curves. I got your back, yeah, girl, that's a word. Once I have my way, girl, you can swerve. I tell you stop, we run them heaters. Them bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah, real trap nigga skrill. On God, no deal, I'm worth a mill. Big house and it's sitting on the hill. I pay them boxes just like Shaquille, yes sir. Just drop the whole load off. I ain't never had shit, so I show up. Double dollar bitch, yup, that's my road dog. If I ain't got my gun, you getting stolen, yeah. I ain't in the wasting time, what you tryna do? She went to stripping on her clothes and her designer shoes. Grabbed her by her neck and let her see my family juice. Now she tryna take a family cruise. I told her stop, we run them heaters. Them bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah.
Alone, no company. My phone can't comfort me. A drug is what this could be. So much secrecy, it ain't healthy, no. Am I satisfied? Look into my eyes. Is there any light? Or is it dead inside? Fighting for my life. Can you just take me for a ride? Oh, I don't know. All I seem to do is isolate, 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 isolate. All I know how to do is isolate, 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 isolate. Going home, I feel the love. We're coming back. It feels like a heart attack. A drug is what I really need. So much secrecy, it ain't healthy, no. I just glamorize, but look into my eyes. Is there any daylight, or am I hurt inside? I'm fighting for my mind. I beg God for more time. Depression and melodies combined. Oh, I'm unaligned. I just isolate, 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 isolate. All I know how to do is isolate, 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 but I need to be in community. I wanna be loved, I wanna give love. This isolation is killing me.
Back from our commercial break. Thank y'all so much for staying tuning in. We was having too much fun backstage. Like we was talking, it was definitely getting real, and we want to bring that back. To y'all, we gotta share the knowledge. But we was talking before we left with Ms. Hicks. You made a good point about the young generation, and I want to say that like the older generation always talk like I struggle, so they gotta struggle too. The babies gotta struggle too, and I think that does a lot of damage. And I think also for me at least, I think that's where the generational part of generational wealth comes from. those generational bad habits and bad thoughts. Mr. Trevon said it out in backstage. He was like that mentality. You know, you got to change that mental or how you think about money. When I had my stepfather and my real father used to try to teach me about like saving money, things like that, and I'm like, I'm young, like just let me do what I want with my money. But little did I know when I used to borrow money from my dad when he was alive, and I used to like my dad was on it. You got to pay us back, like pay me back, and it wasn't the fact that he needed it, not at all. I didn't know till I got older that every time I paid my dad back, he was putting it in a shoebox somewhere else for me to have access that when I had a child or have me to access that for other things for me later on in life. And I think a lot of parents need to start doing that. It's there. A lot of parents are just looking at, oh, I want my money back because I'll let you borrow. I'm trying to teach you how people in life gonna do you. Yeah, but what are you doing to help them on the back end? Take that money and invest it for them. Take that money and, like you said, the whole mentality of money has to be different. Like I was telling y'all too when we first started talking. I don't go to the clubs. Like I'm not about that life. Me going to networking events is my club. Like let's build together. Let's do things everlasting. Let's help our lead our legacy. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the a lot of times we see struggle as a validation. Like, oh, I had to struggle, and these rappers I think teach that a lot to me, like about the struggle, and make it seem like nah, like unless you didn't have to struggle, so you don't know nothing about having no money. No, you ain't got to. Like, let's teach how to manage the money. Let's clear up the mindset of how we need to think about money in the long run, not just for right now. So that was my 2 cents on what you were saying, Miss Hicks. But y'all joined in and talk. We was talking real good behind stage.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
I
that
definitely
was
agree with
good.
you. And I feel like in the black community, it's just a lot of people don't have people to learn from. Like you said, like our parents didn't really know much. So it's like we internet raised. Like for me, I always say, dang, I'm internet raised. Like everything that I want to learn or I need to learn, I got to teach myself. I got to get on Google. I got to do research. I got to invest in it. So it's like, who do we learn from if the older generation don't know nothing or not trying to better their lives or they stuck in their ways or they don't know how to teach us. So in the black community, there's something that we always lack, and it really starts with us. So that's why, behind in my brand, I really put so much passion into it because like we the new parents. Like we the new parents. Like,
Mhm.
we the ones that gotta teach these kids. We gotta teach our kids in the next generation about credit and about things and we still learning ourselves. Like, we not
Yep.
the way where we want to be at. We taking it day by day. We learning day by day. And that's why we need better leaders in the world. And that's why we need, more real people that's teaching the information. A lot of people are just selling ebooks and courses to make a little quick $25, things like that. And that's another reason why I built my brand is because it's hands on. I teach you hands on. I teach you everything, what to pick and things like that. And we need more people like that that's giving out real information. And that's, genuine. And I feel like that's what we lack in the black community. We don't have anyone to learn from. We don't have a lot of people to look up too. We don't have a lot of we have people to look up to, but we don't have that many. Like I said, white people are born into it. And we pretty much
Yeah.
we just learn. We gotta learn from our mistakes. We gotta learn as we go. We gotta mess up and then learn and then teach. So yeah.
I
That is so
definitely agree.
powerful.
Yeah.
And T, now you see why when Mariah, you mentioned leadership.
Right.
So I launched a nonprofit organization. It's called Gemstone Journey. And it's basically I'm being called to the youth, right? Making an impact. Fun fun background. I used to have my own Girl Scout troop, but honestly, it's not a space for brown girls to thrive in. So I was like, well, how can I give back? How can I how can I give these girls the same experience, right? And they feel like they're valued. They feel like I feel like young women, they go seeking for validation in the world. And it's like, hey, you look beautiful with clothes on. You don't have to go out here half naked because that's what social media is selling, right? So when I launched Gemstone Journey, I just was praying and praying, and I was like, Lord, just provide me with the girls, right? Provide me with the resources, provide me with the purpose and the posture, the heart posture to really be a leader, where they can talk about what's going on. I feel like if you don't deal with that trauma, don't deal with those things that happen to you at such a young age, let reality of it, you gonna still be dealing with what happened to you at 7, at 27.
Mm.
So just being a leader that, like you said, it's not a lot of us, but it's some of us that's out here really just trying to be change makers. Like, hey, look, let me go ahead and grab you. You know what I mean? Let me come teach you something. You know what I mean? Let me come be that. You don't want to necessarily be that mother. You don't want to overstep your boundaries, but let me mentor you. You know what I mean? Let me do life with you. And I feel like that's what the girls need. I was talking to a woman yesterday and she was like, "Oh, but what about the boys?" And I was like, I'm praying that God, exactly. There we go. Come on,
There we
brother.
go.
And I'm
Yes.
Mr.
like,
Trevor right
I'm
here.
praying that God give us men, right? Not the boys, men that can be the male role models
Leaders.
and really, hey, if
Yes.
you
That's crazy that
experience
you
some
said that.
trauma in your life, let's talk about it, son. Let's talk about it, nephew. Why you so angry? You know what I mean? It's a lot more young boys that's growing up without a father figure. You know what I mean? Just like the little girls
Mhm.
experiencing daddy issues. Let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like getting women that can say, "Come on, let's just go out in a community. Let's see what schools we can go to. Let's see what schools we can partner with to just donate our time." You know what I mean? It don't even have to be that much time. But I know at least with Gemstone Journey, we are partnering with therapists where, most, let's talk about it. Most of our parents in the Black community, we can't afford no therapist. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So providing them with that therapy once a month and say, "Hey, look, what's bothering you? You know what I mean? What have you experienced? If you feel comfortable, let's talk about it." Teaching them how to journal. It's power in that pen. When you write it
Yes.
down, that signal, that's you're releasing it. You know what I
Right.
mean? You cannot keep carrying that. Because if you're carrying it at 10, you're gonna carry it at 30. You know what I mean? If
Yep.
it's completed.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I just feel like shaping up the next generation to have those tools. Like, look, you ain't gotta solicit yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to dim down your bright. Let's shine for success. You
Yep.
are who God called you to be. You just
Yep.
need the right woman, you need the right partner, you need the right mentor, you need the right leader. And look, we breaking the curse. You ain't gotta be like your mama. No
Yep.
offense. You can
Right.
love her, you know what I mean? But I feel like
But you can
even
do
some
better
some
too.
moms, exactly, some moms, um that some moms damage our good boys, right?
Yep.
They damage them because they heartbroken of what they experienced with their daddies. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just feel like the call is healing, healing our younger generations, and then everything else will follow.
Mm.
Um, I want to add to that. I like the. We're here to talk about generational wealth, but we can't have a conversation about wealth if we don't talk about mindset and the shifting in the way we
Mm.
think
Right.
as a people. So, like, I'm born into this family that's not wealthy, right? But ever since I can remember myself, my mom used to always call me her African prince, and what that did. uh, affirmations do, it solidified this picture of me seeing myself as royalty, right, from the time
Mm.
I was a kid. And therefore, with me seeing myself, did I get into trouble as a young boy? Yeah. I'm a boy. I'm human. That's part of the journey. But there was always this in the back of my mind, this picture of myself as royalty, carrying myself in a way that meant I was more than. That's why that quote that you heard me use on the thing, "You are a seed for more." That's how that originated. Because no matter what, wealth or not, I always saw myself as, wow, okay, yeah, I'm valuable, and I'm gonna do things that will change the world. And so even in little things like that, how we talk to our children, the things we say, the words we use,
Yeah.
all of that is programming because the brain and the mind is a computer. And words, they say language is the software of the mind. So you can, the things that you say to your children. Like, for example, the kid goes to his mom, "Oh, mom, I want to be the president of the United States." "Boy, go sit down somewhere. You ain't gonna amount to nothing."
Yeah,
Or
that's
and,
what we
and we
do.
do and we do that to our daughters. Fathers, he got a problem with mama, so the girl has a dream, and he's like, "Girl, you ain't gonna amount to nothing, just like your mom." Even that, from that basic level, we
We
deprogram our children and our family members away from wealth. So we got to start changing the language that we use when we talk to each other. The other thing that I wanted to add to that, I think Mariah, it was Mariah that mentioned about it's, it's it's only one, but that's the power in it. All it takes is one rock to create a ripple that creates the tsunami of change.
you better
You
speak.
only need one. You only need one. You
You better
and guess
speak.
what? You are her, and I am him. That all we need is one. Because
Yeah.
there's so much power in one person with a vision willing to fight for that vision. I always
Yeah.
ask another question I ask my kids is, do you have a dream and are you willing to fight for it? If you're willing to fight for it, eventually you'll start seeing people like, "Oh, wait a minute. Mariah's doing what? Okay. I gotta hear what she's saying. I want, yeah, I'm this little kid. I was born in the Caribbean, moved to the United States when I was 19. So I'm this little kid that came from a third world country here in the United States. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an author, speaker, trainer, coach, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things I always tell I'm a U.S. citizen now, but one of the things I always tell my friends and family members who are born here is that the reason why it looks like people come from different countries, sometimes not even speaking English as their first language, and then they shoot to the top of the ladder of success is because those people come carrying a dream and a vision with them that they never let go of. So when I was in the army, for example, I was in the army and working part-time at Radio Shack and going to school full-time because my grandmother, right, her care and the stuff that she needs depended on me doing all those things. So a lot of times when immigrants come, they have so many things that they have to do and they're responsible for. So they have a vision. Well, I can't afford to come here and fool around. Now, does every immigrant come and make it successfully? No, that's not true. But I think because we we have that vision, I'm like, man, I always used to say, there's no way I'm coming from Trinidad after everything my mom went through when she first came and I'm about to be out here just doing nothing. No, 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 no. You see what I'm saying? So there's that drive and that desire to be so much more than what the world is telling us we should be. So that whole "you are a seed for more" thing. If you remember, I said it doesn't matter what challenges you're facing. It doesn't matter what family you're born into. It doesn't matter right now if your health is an issue. If you could be flat broke, and if you make the decision and you connect with the right people and you change your thinking, you can literally do a 180-degree turn and climb to the top of the ladder, whatever that may be for you. It's just that all too often we unfortunately surround ourselves with people who want us to stay in the same barrel with them. Right? You ever notice when you would, like, for example, you said that your partying is networking events, right? But
Yeah.
the first thing friends would say is, "Girl, you don't hang out with us no more. You too good to hang out with us."
And it did.
Right. Hey, but I always tell people, look, I didn't fight this hard to get where I am to behave the same way I behaved 10, 15 years
Exactly.
ago. It's not that I think that I'm better than you. It's just that I know that behaving that way is not going to move me closer to my goal. And you
Yep.
obviously don't respect or honor the goals that I have for my life and my family and what God is calling me to do. So, yeah, we can't hang out no more. I'm sorry. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just the thinking. We really have to hammer home with our children how, again, not what to think, but how to think, which is why I'm glad we're having this conversation. I got to is it Janai, right? You have that program where you talk to
Yes.
young girls. I have a leadership program that I've been now listen to this. See, this again will prove what we've been talking about. So
Divine.
I I approached a few school districts, right, about teaching this leadership program to the high schoolers. It has been so much of a fight and a struggle when it comes to the school districts with the people that look like us
Mm-hmm.
versus the other races. So they're like, oh man, Mr. Ferguson, that's wonderful. Yeah, these kids need that. They need to see positive role models. They need to. Then um, when it comes to us, the first thing we ask is how much does it cost? Cool. Yeah, that's obviously important, but then the way we have to look at it is not how much it costs, but what does it cost if we don't do it? What does it cost if we don't start bringing these mentorship programs to our children? What does it cost if we don't allow Mariah to come in and talk to these children about credit? What does it cost if we don't allow Janai to come in and start imprinting on these young children about
Right.
generational wealth? And we have to again change this mindset about how much is it, how much is it, and really start thinking about, well, if I don't do it, then what is that truly going to cost me?
Yep. And
Exactly.
you,
It's about the
yeah.
impact. It's
Mm-hmm.
about
Exactly,
the
Exactly.
impact.
impact.
Yeah,
It's not about the financial side of it because the money's gonna come, right?
right,
But
Right.
it's the impact you're making. One district might see that you're doing this leadership program, and you might even do it for free, and you just never know what doors may open. um I would suggest it dropped in my spirit when we they start hosting these back to school events. If you want to, go half on like a vending table and put it out there for the parents, you know what I mean? The
right,
districts, they gonna get that fight back because,
Come
oh,
on,
it's so
y'all. Yeah.
powerful, but it's all about keeping us small, right? They don't want us to gain what we
Nope.
need to gain because then they lose control. So just getting out there and really paving the ground, like, hey, look, this is what we're out here doing. I'm coming for the girls. He's for the guys. He's going to structure these young men, these young boys so they can be better men. And look, I'm going to save these young girls so they can be equipped women, right? And that's the impact. That's shaking the table and just putting it out there. You know what I mean? Reaching back out to the parents like, look, it's free.
Yep.
Everybody always I approached the woman and I was trying to give her my flyer. She's like, "Look, I'm broke." I'm like, "That's fine." You know, I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to save you, sell you anything, but I'm here to save the next generation, and that's how I put it. You know what I mean? You don't have to. I feel like when we go into these stores, everybody is always trying to sell us and buy us. Where now when somebody that's approaching us, they just like I don't want what you got, right? But they missing their moment. They're missing their mark to see what God is actually really out here putting
Yeah.
out in the universe,
so
right?
Janai, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So when we see these people or hear these people saying, I'm broke, but then you turn around and she's walking out of the hair store with $500 worth of hair, or she's spending $300-400 at the club, or you see what I'm saying? I
You
think
ain't
it's not
broke
that
then,
they're
right?
broe.
People are
I think
broke.
yeah.
People
It's
are
I,
on what
broke.
you invest
Their
into.
mindset is broke,
It's that
right?
mindset.
So if
okay,
you're
yeah,
trained
yeah,
and
there you go.
conditioned to look good and have your best fit and be in a club rocking new wear, it's a
Yep.
mindset thing, right? We not worried about the parents. Baby, do you, boo? You, our job is for these children, right?
Yep.
That
Right.
woman, whoever their parent is, that's who they've been. No matter what we do to try to help them, that's just who they are, right? And it took a lot of going through trial and error to realize it's not about the parent, right? You don't want to walk away because you got a parent that's just confrontational. You don't want to walk away because look, they a little ratchet. Let's talk about it. It's not about them. You will start blocking that. It's you'll turn a deaf ear to the BS, right? And be like, look, God put this on my heart, so I'm going to do it, right? I'm gonna do it even if it rough my feathers to interact with you for 2 seconds, because it's not about you. I can't save you, but I can save your child. I can't save everybody, but I know I can save one, right? I can't save the whole team. I can't save the whole family, but if I teach one how to
Each one
make
teach
it,
one.
her job is to go back and save her siblings, right? And that's what it's about.
Yep. Each one teach one most definitely. I know like it goes back again to the mindset thinking. Like I know for me when I first started into my business, I was like um I didn't think I had to like spend money, right? To make money. And I didn't I really did. And I was like, what's really going on? Like why am I not seeing what's going out? Why I'm not, I gotta pay $35 for a networking event. Hold on. I could put that towards me getting my nails done. I was very immature in my thinking. And Mariah, you could probably, I know you work with people who you help them start
Yeah.
their business and you
I,
see excuses on the daily.
yeah, I was gonna say, mindset is definitely the number one thing when it comes to just a whole lifestyle change. Like for me to even juggle, to even be handle being an entrepreneur, the first thing that I did was change my mindset. I started reading the right
Yep.
books. I had to know what information to feed my brain in order to get to the next level. And when I say that journaling is real, the manifestation is real, praying is real, and really feed your brain with knowledge that can really show you how to think. Like back to what Trayvon was saying, you need to learn how to think. Like when people go to the bookstore, when I go to the bookstore, I'm buying self knowledge books. I want to pump my brain with. I want to learn how to think because you can think your way. Your thoughts are everything. Law of attraction. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe thoughts are things. Everything that
Yes,
you
indeed.
bring about. So, and I'm a living witness to that because, like I said, I went from my life really changed overnight from working a 9 to 5 to like manifesting, like, hey, I need to make some money. Like, I need to make some money, and just writing that down and just manifesting that and believing, ask, believe, receive, and learning principles and learning different things and learning how to use your mind. Like, that's the way that you make money. And to be honest with you, it wasn't always consistent for me. And I realized that when I was making the most money consistently every month, I was reading. I was pumping my brain. But the minute that my money started
Mm.
going down, I wasn't focused as I wasn't as focused as I was when I was making that much money. When I started reading, when I started back going to the club, when I started back hanging around people, when I started back not being focused on what was making me the most money, which was my mind, which was thinking. And it's hard because you have to be consistent with your thoughts. Like when you read
Yep.
these books that's telling you what to do and what to think, you'll start off doing it for a week straight. You'll start journaling for like a week, and then you fall off. And you be
Yep.
good, you praise God. God is good. God ain't always on time. And then it's like, damn, God, what do I? It's the devil. You blame everything on the devil. So it's like it's
That's
really hard.
real.
It's really hard to juggle being an entrepreneur and your mind, just life, period. And life and your thoughts is really everything. Your thoughts is really, really
you,
everything. And that's
you,
why I'm so big on teaching my kids to read these type of books, to use your thoughts, to be careful what you speak into existence, to watch what you feed your brain with, the music that you listen to, like all of these type of things really matter. And the movies that you watch, like they giving us messages. You can believe it or not, but all of the things around you
Yep.
are giving you messages. And I'm like, you just got to be careful what you think and what you pump your brain with, and the people that you surround yourself with, because that's really going to determine your as far as how your life goes. Like for real.
Girl, that's so true. I didn't think reading a book was in the way that I'm being so transparent with y'all. When I first started out, when I met you, Mariah, like I wouldn't read nothing. Girl, read who? I have this thing where I'm more of a visual person. And I even tried audio books after that. Reading was something not for me. It was so taboo. Unless if it wasn't the Bible and it wasn't talking about slavery. I don't know what it is. My mind was just not it was not it wasn't connecting
And
until
that's how
I
they
got
want
further.
us. That's how
Yeah,
they
and
want
it
us.
went till I got further in entrepreneurship, and guess what? Aligning myself with other people, other like minded.
Uh-oh, went
you,
out.
yeah, she went out for a second. But yeah. I think to piggyback off of that, right. I think that, to, piggyback off of that, what I would say is, um, when it comes to reading and listening and to audios and watching videos on YouTube, I think what stirs that and really moves us in the right direction is the desire for something different, right? So books, audios, and videos give us a peek into a world that's different from ours. And so if we want different, then we can't listen to the same like you're trying to become a millionaire. You can't listen to somebody who wants to intentionally be on welfare. And I'm not knocking anybody on welfare because I've received assistance. I got food stamps. I did all of that. But but the truth is we have to be intentional about changing the people who we keep hearing. They say you become um, the average of the five people you hang around the most. So if you're always hanging out with people who they have no desire to build generational wealth. They have no desire to grow beyond their station. And if I'm being honest with y'all, you know what I'm afraid of? You know what I'm really afraid of?
What is it?
I'm afraid that after I transition and I go back to God and God sits in front of me and he says, "So, Teron, this was the assignment I gave to you. I gave you
Jesus.
all these gifts. I gave you all these resources. All this information was at your fingertip. Why did you not multiply what I sent you with?" It's kind of like the story of the young men and the talents, right? Two, five, and 10. The one with two decided to take it and bury it because he lacked that vision that there was an opportunity for him to create more with the resources that God gave him. Now, I don't know what that conversation is going to be like, but I just don't want to have that conversation. And God said, "Hey, that I sent you with all these gifts, and you didn't multiply it in any way." Oh man, that's a hard conversation to have with your maker. And that's how I
Listen.
live. I live my life. You know, I had, as a combat vet, I had struggles with PTSD and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That ain't no excuse because God is still, He still promised me that He has plans to prosper me, right? Regardless of what I've gone through. Job lost everything, right? Except his life. And yet he blessed Job with tenfold what he lost initially. So who am I to sit here and make excuses about whatever, I live with epilepsy. I still because there's no cure for epilepsy, but I still have seizures occasionally. But when you've had thousands of seizures or whatever, and the pain that comes with that, dealing with the mental health struggles that comes with being a combat vet, I've been through all of that. But I still have a spiritual responsibility to do, right? Because I'm still here. I'm on the other side of all that. So now I even have a bigger responsibility to say, you know what? God is calling you to be so much more. Just because you're born into poverty doesn't mean you have to stay there. Just because you're born
Hmm.
into a cycle of abuse doesn't mean you have to stay there. Just because you're born into a cycle of lack of education doesn't mean you have to stay there. Because God has intrinsically created all of us to grow beyond the station that we started at. That's what a seed is. If you think about it, a seed is just this little thing encased in, it's just potential encased in this little bubble, and we all are seeds for something so much more. And I tell people everything that you can and will accomplish, God has already planted it inside of you. You just have to be willing to look in, see it, and say, okay, I'm gonna be obedient to this call on my
Come
life.
on.
I'm
Speak
gonna go
that.
talk to
Listen.
these young girls and empower them. I'm gonna make sure that my kids know about credit. And you know what? Even if my family and friends don't want to hear it, I'm gonna talk to them about it. But I'm not gonna stay there. If you notice what Jesus did, right? He shared his message. The people who received it, they received it, and then he kept it moving. He never stayed stagnant sharing the message. He traveled, and the people who wanted it, they took the message. So, and that's what we have to do. Okay, no
Yep.
problem. Family, y'all don't want to hear this? No problem. You go to your networking event. You talk there. You develop your programs. You talk there, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah.
Yep.
She's
You.
back.
That is
I'm back,
beautiful.
y'all. So
That was
sorry it cut out,
beautiful.
but I'm glad I came back when I did though. You speaking a lot. You saying a whole lot, and that's so true. Like you definitely, God has already activated that in you. It's to you to. to build off of your skill, build off of your talent. Again, when I met you, Trevon, that was my first speaking event. Never spoke
Right.
in front of people. People don't know I have a speech impediment, and that's why I stumble over my words a lot. But and I used to let that hinder me. I used to let that slow me down. But now to like, I never foresaw me having a full podcast, me talking in front of people. After that event, people coming up to me like, for another speaking engagement. I'm like, what? This is my first one. Like, they was like, this your first one. You were so comfortable with the crowd and walking through the crowd.
And you
I
are.
It turns on. Like it just turns on for me. But I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. To know that what I went through last year alone, within the 6 months, I went through so much and never been at my lowest. That was my lowest time was last year. To be diagnosed with cancer, to raise 1 to 4 kids, and go from 1 to 4 kids. To be evicted, to lose a job, to have a car wreck, all within 6 months. And I just know that God spoke to me so clearly during that time. And if it wasn't for Him, I couldn't have made it through. So for me, it was taking what I had been going through to develop these type of conversations. I said, I got work to do. God done gave me the talent. I need to go ahead and activate that. Don't let this me not being able to speak hinder me. And I didn't. And I was like, I'm gonna have a show. We're gonna talk about it. Other people feeling just like me. Other people out here struggling. Other people
Mhm.
out here with a speech impediment. But you got to go forward. Other people out here need encouraging. I feel like you said with Job. He texted Job. Why not me? And people are quick to say, God don't give you more than you can bear. I differ, baby. God gives you more than what you can bear. That's like saying, oh, I eat turkey every day, but then you don't go and try ham. You ain't gonna know you like ham until you try ham. God ain't gonna give you the same old, same old. He gonna test you beyond your limits to push you so that he can add more on your plate. Your testimony ain't for you, it's for somebody else. I strongly
Come
feel like that.
on.
And that's
That
what
Right.
is
pushed me to
beautiful.
that's what pushed me to continue to go forward. Like what I'm going through, I told y'all before we started, yeah, I'm going through some a lot this week. But in the end, I know where it's finna take me. It's finna boost me to level up. It's all about mindset. I love the fact that y'all said that. And just being here on nostalgic to be able to have these conversations means so much more than people think, because we don't talk about it. That's why I wanted to bring you guys in. Each of you offer a resource that can better and make change and educate, and that's what I want to do. So when we come back, I don't mean to talk long, but when we come back, I definitely want to y'all to give out y'all's resources. We don't have to cut the show, but before you ladies, I know of me having a daughter, y'all have kids, I understand that, but I do want to make sure that you guys give y'all resources out. Mariah, we need to talk about Bay, how to Bay. We need to talk about at risk advisory boss Bay. We need to talk about mentorship and coaching. So when we come back from this break, I definitely want you guys to give out you guys' resources, information, and when we get back, we'll start with Ms. Janai Hicks. We'll start with her on her resources, how what she has available, and what we can do to spread and educate.
Pablo, you're crazy for this one.
I told him stop. We run them heaters. Them bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving.
All right, like I said, y'all, it was gonna be a quick, it was gonna be a quick commercial break, y'all. Oh, oh, Miss. All right, y'all. Welcome back. I hope y'all been taking notes. I hope y'all been hearing what we all have been saying and putting down and having real discussion and real talk. Like I said, it was a quick commercial break. I am sorry, but we got to get back to the juice and the meat and potatoes of this conversation here. Again, I want to thank my guests, Trayvon, Jana Hicks, and Mariah Davis in the building for all the encouraging and all of the discussion, the education, the gym, the spiritual of it. I love it all, and I'm glad you guys are here with me. Miss Janai Hicks is gonna be back, and when she comes back, she's gonna give out her resources. She said some valuable things during the break behind stage that I really want her to touch on and give that information. And before she jumps back in, let's see if we can get her website up, Jason, for Boss Advisory Babes. And that way, when she comes back in, we can go ahead and get her on. Miss Hicks, we hear you, but we just can't see you. So we definitely want to get you back in. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully she'll be back in just a second. So guys, we've been talking about generational wealth, the mindset, entrepreneurship, and I love it. I love it because a lot of people don't think about the mindset when it comes to generational wealth. And I'm so glad that we've really been focused on that. Until Miss Hicks get back, let's go ahead and start with Miss Mariah on how to bay. Let's get their resources out there, Mariah, because I love what you do. You give again, you take people's hobby and turn them into like show them how to make money from it. Why? Who wouldn't make money from your hobby, right? It's something that you love to do. It's your passion. I definitely want to link with you because you also do this with kids, and I think that's so inspiring and so special. My daughter love how to draw, loves to draw, and could draw very, very well. I don't know where she get it from, but she draws very, very well. And I want to do something with Etsy, something I'm not sure, but I know you are the person to talk to.
Most
And
definitely.
so I definitely want you to educate people on. Oh, Miss Hicks, you back? Before we go home. Okay.
See, girl,
Mariah, we're
then
gonna hold that for just a second. I do want to get
Okay.
Miss Hicks in because I know she's gonna be leaving soon. So, Miss Hicks, go ahead and give out your information, what you stated backstage. That was some really valuable information that you were saying.
Uh-oh,
Miss
she
Hicks,
froze.
Miss Hicks, you froze.
Yeah, she's froze.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and pursue with you, Maya. Mariah. Go
Oh, there she
ahead
goes.
and talk to us about how to babe, how they can get network with you, and what all resources you offer because you do a plethora of things, like I said. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so actually, our location is planning to launch in a few months. Looking at launch in July. Actually, it's going to be called our Bays Laboratory. So think of the workforce, you can
Ooh.
think of a business force. So it'll be a hands-on learning lab where you can come in and you can use business resources like the press machine if you want to learn how to start a t-shirt business, or if you want to learn how to braid hair, you want to learn how to do certain skill sets and in industries that we specialize in. It'll be a place where you can come in and you can get that one-on-one hands-on training. And also it does come with we do business mentorship as well for ongoing support. So we're a little bit different. Actually, we're a lot different from any other mentorship program out there because we do offer that hands-on support, and we also have the tools that you need to get started, and we also offer starter kits. So if you are looking to start like braiding, nails, lashes, or financial business, we do have a niche in what industries we do service. But if you are looking to start with any of those, we provide you with a starter kit as well to get started, and we provide you with a mentorship as well. So it's a complete experience. We make it fun. We service
Wow.
entrepreneurs as well. Kids, we get those involved. It comes with mentorship as well. And yeah, we should be opening up our location here soon in the Dallas area.
Come on, Mariah. Like, don't act like you ain't say a whole lot, girl.
Oh,
Come
okay,
on, y'all
okay.
look at the
Also,
link
real
going
estate is
around.
real because I
Huh?
am a licensed realtor. I forgot to mention that it's real estate as well, which is part of generational wealth. Want to get more of our black people on the real estate side. So if you are looking to get into real estate as a licensed realtor, we help those services as well.
Come on, y'all. The resources is there. Y'all see at the bottom it is www.howtobay.net. Y'all make sure you connect. If you don't know what you want to do, see Mariah. If you don't know
If you don't
how to
know
get
what you want
started,
to do,
okay, she gonna she gonna get
we're
you
gonna show
together.
you how to do it. Pitch your idea, book the free consultation call. It's completely free to get on the call. Tell me what it is you're trying to do. Hey Mariah, I want to do this. I wanna, like you said, you want to your daughter likes to draw. I put together the whole program for you and I teach you how to get started step by step. We get straight to it. We start from the straight business structure. We're gonna get your brand together. If you don't know how to get the LLC, we showing you directly how to do that. Pull up on us with your laptop. We finna show you. We're not finna sell you no ebook. We're not finna give you no course. We finna tell you to pull up and we finna show you how to get it done like right now.
That's what I'm talking about. On hands. A lot of people. I'm a learner of a on hands. Like if you can talk to me all day, but if I ain't writing it down and I ain't like doing the hands on myself, it just don't click. I love the fact of a lot of people say I'm gatekeep. I don't want to gatekeep. This right here is a prime example of not gatekeeping. Like to actually provide the resources, like you said, pull up. This ain't an ebook. Just straight come on. Like I'm here.
Uh,
I love it.
Oh,
Y'all
another thing
get
that's very
with
important. It is a collaborative brand. So I am looking for people to collab with in these industries to actually teach certain industries. So I'm not going to be teaching everything. I'm the visionary. I'm
I was
organizing.
wondering that. I was gonna ask you that.
So yes, so I'm not. I'm looking for people to collab with. That I can be a part of the brand. That's going to actually be a part of the program. That can teach these certain how to braid, how to cut hair, how to do this, how to start a tax business. So it's a collaborative brand, and I am looking for collaborations.
Y'all heard it because she need them. Come on now. Let's collab. Let's Miss Hicks, Miss Trevon, did y'all catch that? She said
Okay,
collab. I
it's
caught
all
that.
before
Okay, okay.
that.
I gonna make sure y'all caught what she was dropping because I see a collab in the future. I really do. Before we go, I definitely want to get Miss Hicks before she has to leave. Miss Hicks, can you hear us?
Uh-oh, she froze again.
No,
She was
she
just
froze
working.
again.
Oh, there she go.
Oh,
It's frozen.
I see you.
Is
We
it me
see
that's
you.
freezing?
You back?
Hopefully, look, me and T might have to just go live after this.
We can hear you.
Because I live in the middle of nowhere. So my service now that I'm moving, I think my service is gonna keep going out. But I would definitely love to partner and collab. This was really dope. Again, my name is Janai Hicks. And I'm all about community and supporting other women as well as saving our youth. And they can find me on Boss Babe Advisory Group. Um, that's like my main page and everything, or Janai Hicks on Facebook. And then you'll see like everything else about me.
Yes, I'm loving it. Y'all, you see at the bottom, it is Boss Babe Advisory Group.com. You definitely need to go there. We got someone setting you up to start the business. We got Miss Hicks getting you the meat and potatoes of the finances of the business. And let's get over to Mr. Trey Vaughn. Let's give it up for you. And I want you to talk about your business as well because you have a lot of different elements as well. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, so let's talk about your aspect and how let's get some collaboration going with you as well.
All right, thank you. So I'm the CEO and founder of Legendary Impact. Our tagline is where we speak to inspire, but we coach to transform. So
Mm.
my main website right now is www.digitalmastercoach.com. So there's my books are on there. There's some of the coaching programs. We have access to digital marketing training, all that stuff. But very shortly, we'll be launching our online community. That's coming, and then we'll have. I'm also launching my online bookstore because I am releasing at the beginning of June two new books: Five Imperfect Men that
Oh.
God used to change the world, and Struggle to Success. They're actually on the website for pre-sale right now, so people can pre-order. The first 200 people that order, they're going to actually get signed copies of the book and so on. But for me, one of the reasons I'm looking for collaboration. So I teach leadership, I teach mindset, but I also do work when it comes to mental health. I offer coaching, I offer consulting to different organizations and business, helping them understand how to navigate mental health in the workplace, but also how to understand not only leadership, but developing leaders. And we have our two key signature talks is "You Are a Seed for More," which you kind of got a snippet of that, and also the next one that I'm really working on now is called "Dream So Big That You Have to Ask God for Help," and that one is kind of setting me on fire right now because it's reminding people that, man, we live in the land of opportunity, but we've forgotten how to walk in vision, right? Like even in the Bible tells us write the vision plain, write the vision on tablet and make it plain. But we, for some reason, we've stopped dreaming. We've stopped looking for more. We've stopped expecting abundance in our life. And I'm wholeheartedly about empowering people to reach back inside of them and turn that light back on, because God is calling us. We're not here by accident. You're not
Right.
doing this podcast by accident. Even you talked about, your speech impediment. Well, guess what? Moses had a stutter, and he led the people of Israel out of Egypt. So, I
Mm.
mean, and I could go on and list a whole host of people that have challenges and whatnot that have impacted our world on significant levels. And so I'm here. I'm here. That's what I want to do. I want to continue to empower people, just like my mom, regardless of our humble beginnings, she empowered me from the time I was a kid. And I think part of who I am today is because her spirit resonates through me every single day, regardless of what's happening. So definitely, Mariah, I'll be reaching out. I know Janai had to leave. I'll definitely be reaching out. Obviously, T, you and I have some more things that we're going to discuss in
Oh
terms of
yeah.
working together. But
Most
man,
definitely.
this was absolutely amazing. So thank you for creating
You.
this platform for us to come and really have a voice to share with each other.
Most
Yes.
definitely. Most definitely. Like you said, I don't think that we meet I don't think we just I think this was purposeful. I think who
Right.
Yeah.
we meet is purposeful. It's intentional on how you use it. And a lot of people end up calling me now and be like, I thought you said I was gonna be on the show. And it's like I have to tell people, I didn't forget about you, honey. God hasn't aligned it. Just wait a minute. It's something that's greater that's happening. I know when I met Mariah, I was like, girl, yeah, I'm gonna get you on the show. It's been
Yeah.
Mariah, 3 years, girl.
Three
It's been
years now.
forever, right? And
It's
so
right
it's
on.
like, but God had to cook. You know what I'm saying? God had to let things cook. I had to grow. I had to mature in conversations that needed to be done. And you know firsthand the conversations that we had then and versus look at what we have it now. But I told you my vision. I want to have these conversations, like to be able to be some kind of resource. Um, I started out, I'm a single mother, and to have a speech impediment as well and have a condition that causes the speech impediment. I was depressed, I was down. I one day went to work, fell into a group chat, and the first group chat I saw, it was on my the condition that I have that causes the speech impediment. I think things happen align up for a reason. That chat became my support group, and that support group took this to me creating this podcast because I saw that other people was having the same issues I was having. Why is it always word of mouth for people for us, right? Everything is word of mouth as a single mother. When you are skin tone, I'm gonna say that. Did you know this? Did you know you can do this? Mariah, I know you've seen it too. You're a mother, you know what I mean? So you've heard people give you resources versus that's easy acceptable for the other races that can just get it. You said it several times.
Right.
They get it. It's not like that for us. So I was like, you know what? Let's do something where not only are we having these conversations, but we provide resources with these conversations. And I'm so glad that you guys were able to be on the line tonight. Not only that, give you guys this knowledge, share your stories, share your resources. I can't wait to see what happens amongst the team right here that we just built. I'm so looking forward to that. So I thank y'all so much for what y'all doing in your community, what you doing for other entrepreneurs, how you spreading the word, and what you doing. I'm a strong believer in giving flowers when flowers are due, and they definitely are due. So I thank you guys for what you are doing.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give you your flowers as well because that's crazy that you said that how everything just happened right on time. Because 3 years ago, I didn't even have this brand. I was
Facts, yeah,
I was still trying to figure out my purpose, really trying different hustles, trying different things, doing real estate, failing, making mistakes, taking L's. So it just happened right on time that, as I prayed more and more and I learned myself more and more, I learned that, okay, God, what do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. I got this business, this business, this business. I don't know what to do, Lord. So it's like, it's just now clicking in me that, Lord, you want me to show other people how to do the same. You want me to show other people I can't gatekeep this information no more. I can't hide all this knowledge. I got to show somebody. I'm too pumped up. Like every day I know I think of an idea to make some money. Like it's people out here struggling. They need to know how to make money, whether it's full time, part time, on the side. Like, Lord, I need a way to give all of me, Lord. I need a brand to where I can give all of me, or I can just teach and I can just be myself and just teach people how to
yeah,
do it. And so this brand was born, and it's crazy how you said how we all align because I really believe in it in time and God's time. And so I just wanted to give you your flowers because, like you said, you have a speech problem. People don't know I got social anxiety. I'm an introvert. I be shy to come on camera. I be beating myself up. I got a pitch competition coming up next week where I'm going to be pitching this brand, and I'm doing something very brave. So me showing up every time and just you asking me to be on here, me showing up is really pushing myself even more. Like you motivated me to show up for my brand even more. So I just wanted to just say that you're doing awesome. And
oh,
when I
thank you.
could tell you was new, all I could tell is Elijah one. I like her energy. Like, why is she not pretty what she is? Like she has a great platform, like everything. So I really
Thanks.
be here.
And after I met y'all, it was automatically like, that's my sister, that's my brother. Like, I think I
Yeah,
ran into Elijah one day at
yeah,
7-Eleven, and it was as if, girl, we was reuniting from the color purple. It was like,
right,
hey, brother, what you been up to?
right,
What you doing?
right.
It's
No, for real.
always a blast to see y'all, and I love to see how much like, you can look at old pictures and be like, dang, I really grew. When
Yeah,
I see you and him, and when I see the what how we both used where we used to be, it's such a
yeah,
heartwarming feeling. Like I know I'm doing right. Like we doing this. Like
yeah,
we started from the bottom. Look at us here. Like I
yeah.
love to see that. So I thank y'all so much. Somebody asked like, what's the context of all the blabbering? Well, we're not blabbering. You definitely should have been on earlier, but we were talking about generational wealth. We've actually covered a lot of things. The mindset of generations. How that goes. The empowerment. We've been talking about resources, honey. You missed out.
You
You
missed
gotta go back
out.
and catch up.
Watch the replay.
He played all day. But Mr. Trevor, I don't think you gave out your resources. I don't think you gave out your contact.
Yeah, well, I gave out the website, just
Oh, okay, okay.
digitalmastercoach.com. But also, I mean, I'm on Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram and Facebook as Trayvon. I only use my middle names, which is Sundiata
Right.
underscore Imhotep underscore Ferguson. But like, see, even with the comment like that, right, where the person says we're just on here blabbering, it might seem like blabbering if right now you can't relate to what is being said.
Mm.
When you have one black woman giving another black woman her flowers, and somebody considers that blabbering, then obviously from a mindset perspective, you're not there yet. You're not understanding how important that is, how necessary that is. Do y'all know that? And why is that necessary? Well, for starters, high school girls are the number one at-risk group in the United States for suicide. So that means we need more examples of women, black and otherwise, working with each other, uplifting each other, empowering each
Yes.
other, stepping outside the box, and showing these young girls that they can be so much more. So if if Mariah giving T her flowers, and T, really sharing her excitement about meeting Mariah and Janai, and all these resources that she's bringing together, if that comes across as blabbering, then you miss the mark somewhat. And I'm
Yeah.
not afraid. I'm not afraid to go toe to toe in a conversation with anybody, because I
Come
know
on.
that mindset is a change in mindset. We still think like slaves. We
Yeah,
still
you so right.
behave like
So
slaves,
right.
and we have to change our thinking. That's why in the beginning, the first thing I said was we are descendants from the wealthiest people on the planet.
Mm.
Even if people think Africa is a bad place, Africa is still the wealthiest continent in the world. But
Mhm.
we are so caught up in slavery and all these negative images that we don't realize the people showing us the images, every day, Chinese, Europeans, all of them, they're moving to Africa and buying land, buying
Yep.
all the diamond mines, buying all the copper fields, all that stuff, right? But we so busy looking at the images that we're not even thinking that these people are robbing us blind. You know what I mean?
Blind. In our face.
In our face. So, and here you have two young women again giving them their flower, giving each other their flowers, and you call it blabbering. I bet you that the person that said that they sat down and watched the presidential debate where you have uh, presidential candidates. All they did was fling mud at each other and spoke nothing of how they were truly going to uplift the country. But here, it's a different conversation, and because the conversation ain't, I don't know, I guess because it ain't ratchet, or I don't know, but yeah,
You
it
right. You
it
right.
is
It's
what it
all about the
is.
mindset. Like
It
and
is what it
like some
is.
people just not at that point in their life where they're ready to grow.
Right.
Growth takes time. Growth takes maturity. And a lot of people don't have that, surprisingly. People
Right.
think because you're grown, you mature. That is not the case at all. I know a lot of grown immature people. I know a lot of
Right.
grown
Right,
childish people. That
Right.
sound crazy, but it exists. And until
It
you get out that
is.
mindset, you won't have growth.
Right.
Like I kept speaking on me going to the club. When I was young, I didn't want to invest. When I first started, I didn't want to invest in myself like that. I didn't want to spend $20 going to a networking event, 35, $50 to be in with these rooms of people. I thought that was insane. I was like, I wish I would. I got a business. What do you mean? I
Yeah.
had to change my mindset. Now I be paying overboard so I can get in the rooms. Like now, it's that's what it's about. You're gonna
Right.
invest in yourself. That mindset has to change. Investing in yourself, and
Mhm.
that comes with the conversations you have. You got to
Yeah.
change your mindset, change the rooms, change the surroundings, your people who you hang with.
Mhm.
Definitely so. And just to piggyback on Trevon, y'all, it's this book is the ABCs of empowerment. I love this book. I can't speak it enough. Um,
thank you.
you speak. Yes, you did a great job with this book. It has it's separated by the days, and also you can go in. And it has what days? I think I read today's
Is it on
already.
Amazon? Did you say it was on Amazon?
Nah, well, it's on Amazon, but I just used Amazon to print it. It's on my website though,
Okay, your website.
digitalmastercoach.com. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I won this one, Mariah, at again the first speaking engagement, and I don't
Okay.
think things happen coincidentally. I think I this was meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, yes, it really was. Even just his story, we had a lot of great speakers, and not to shun them out or shake them by no means, but his story hit home. It touched me in a lot of places. Because he had been through so much, and to see him keep going. I was like, this man here, like, what in the world? He didn't have
Yeah.
40 who? And he's sitting here standing up straight, going on and just talking like ain't nothing phased him. And I was just like, wow. And it was the fact that some people use their stories as crutches in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And he definitely did not do that. It was all right, I've been through this. Now let me tell you. Yeah, it definitely a lot of people do that, and he didn't use it as a crutch. He used it as all right, that happened. Now let me show you how you can go forward. I love that kind of empowerment
Yes.
when that's true, when your struggle make you, like she said, Miss Hicks said earlier, um sometimes your pain brings out the best in you. Sometimes your pain takes you to the next, it takes you to that next level. It heals you in a different sense. It may be pain, but it heals you. And that's what I saw when I met Mrs. Trayvon. So again, just thank you for being you and for what you do as well. You deserve flowers as well. To be a
Thank
man to
you.
talk
Thank you.
about mental health in rooms where we don't talk about it. To explain, get to be vulnerable in that space. It was a whole bunch of women in there, and he came in tackling it, y'all. Gave it his all, and I thank you for just showing your vulnerability that you human too, and this what I've been through. But hey, this how we get up and keep it going. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else that you guys want to say before we close out?
Mariah?
When we gonna do this again? Y'all, what y'all want to see next? Cause this was
Okay. We definitely got I'm definitely bringing you guys back on. We got some more conversations that we're gonna have soon in the future. We got some women next I think next month's Mother's Day week, ain't it? Mother's Day
Yeah.
month.
Yes.
uh-huh.
Yeah, so we gonna get real and raw, talk about motherhood. We gonna talk about mental health for Black men. So we definitely y'all get familiar with these faces because y'all definitely gonna see them again.
Yeah.
Just to summarize a little bit, y'all, we talked about generational wealth. We talked about so much, y'all, so much good knowledge, good gems, good things to help you push forward. I hope that you guys go look at these websites. Definitely go look and link with these two entrepreneurs here. Also, Miss Janai Hicks. We're gonna get her back in at another time as well. So y'all definitely link in, tap in with these coaches and advisory. Get on to how to babe. Let's get our businesses in order. Okay, from the mindset to the finances. Get it together. Okay. Y'all also don't forget to check out Spence Cocky Gear. That's www.spencecockeygear.com. You can use my code Real Raw Let's Talk 2 so you can get your fits, your summer fits, your shirts. We got some dad hats that came out that are for I can't wait to get mine. So y'all go to the link, use my code. You'll be able to save a little discount, get some for the kids, get some for you. And we're gonna catch y'all next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. with another real conversation. I'm gonna call it Directors Uncut because we got three phenomenal directors. I know I've been telling y'all about these directors, but when you see them next week, you're gonna see they some hitters. So it's time for us to talk about directing and acting. And maybe y'all can tune in and see, when y'all can get into the screen. I just feel like Mariah, that's you. Like I can see you on the
Girl,
screen. Like I'm ready for it.
look, ready for it.
Okay. Well, y'all, it's been real. A lot of times people ready to get real until it's time to get raw. So until next week, let's talk. Jason, let's take us out.
I'm so raw uncut, and they know, and they know.
Schaefer, that's a hit. For real.
I'm so raw uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worrisome like some gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bomb bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on the TV screen. It's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut you hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari read it. I'm so raw uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip of my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull the trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Holding up on me, I make her me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he was a young nigga. Did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it till it's empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going.